Hello and welcome back to the top 100 maps of all time with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very, very welcome. And we reached lucky number 7. Oh, rest in peace, old man. Rest in peace. What a legend. What a legend Len Goodman was, eh? Anyway, at number 7, we have what I'm going to call a fantasy map. When we say fantasy maps, one of the rules that we say we can bend the rules of normality a little bit, so long as they still within the range of believability, such as we don't have like any crazy gradients, but so long as the whole thing comes together and tells a story, you can get away with some moderately crazy gradients. You can ignore things like rail gradients, as long as they are not stupid. You know, just it's a fantasy map. We can fantasize a little bit. In terms of terrain and geology, we can be a little bit more fantastical with river layouts, such as water spawns producing more water than is believable, which is always going to be the case on the Cities Skylines map anyway, because Cities Skylines maps are, I mean, they're big, but they're not that big. You're not going to get a full Nile river system going on here, but you can take a few little liberties on a fantasy map, where on a more realistic map you need to be a little bit more subtle in the way you make your water spawns, that kind of thing. And in terms of geology, the mountains tend to be a little bit more spiky and pokey and just a little bit more dramatic and beyond the. So what we're talking about is like Norway or New Zealand. That's what we're talking about there. So that's where we're looking at a fantasy map, and what we have here is one of, if not the finest, because you know the ratings don't lie, do they? Not saying there aren't any more fantasy maps coming, there may well be, but this is one of, if not the finest. At number 7, with and I did lie to you yesterday, it wasn't actually a lie, I misread the data. I said yesterday was the final 94.75% approval map. No. Today is the final 94.75 approval rate map. In fact, if you go back a few episodes where I said there were 5 that shared this rating, this is the 5th. So I apologise, we haven't quite reached 95%. That is tomorrow, okay, at number 6. But at number 7 with a 94.75 approval rating, it's Titilopoppo by Anoupou, Merynetjerou. Ah, Anoupou, the elephant in the room nickname, the indirect nickname that I've given them. I'm sorry, Anoupou, for that. It wasn't it, but it happened, didn't it? It happened, and I think it's just a cute little thing. But anyway, Titilopoppo. This one, if you're thinking that Mosisobo was like the finest map that Anoupou could create, well, this is evidence that finer is possible. There might be more from Anoupou in the list. I'm not saying, again, I'm at the point I'm not giving clues anymore. You can probably look at maps lists if you really want to go into depth and find out for yourself, but let's just say that Mosisobo was down at number 24. This one at number 7 is 17 places higher on the vote as voted by you, so this is finer than Mosisobo. The Teaport map, that one. Biffa's Teaport map. Right, okay, so what can I tell you about this one? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. It has a requirement list of about 30 items, but of those 30 items, there are a few, I would call them obsolete mods, that are mods that we're using something different now. So things like things that we're using in Hide It now, where we used to use 2 or 3 different things. So basically, it's not quite 30 items, but if we say 30 items, you have definitely got it covered. It was, of those 30 items, we are using the Not So Rocky Hills map theme and the Coastal LUT. It was uploaded to the workshop in October of 2020, so one of those lockdown maps, so there's every excuse for this map to be extra excellent if Anoupou was sat around twiddling their thumbs. We've got a current, at the time of recording, 9,814 subscribers to the map. 585 have marked this as a favourite. It has a 5-star rating on Steam from 255 votes. And I reviewed this in episode 1058 of What Map, where I gave it 5 stars for aesthetics, 5 stars for detail, and 5 stars for gameplay potential, making it one of the very few all-star maps on my channel. Of course, my star ratings are by individual categories, and as I've said many times before, there are maps that I prefer, personally I would prefer to play, that are maybe 4-star, 4-star, 4-star maps, but the whole thing sells me a nicer picture than some maps that have 5 stars and 4 stars and 4 stars or whatever. This one, all-star map, I'm not at any point going to say I wouldn't want to play this map. I would want to play this map, but like I say, if you're thinking, well, there are some maps that better maps that you've given lower scores for, yeah, but it's by category, and sometimes you can make a delicious 3-course meal with all the best ingredients. Thinking back to that Friends episode where Rachel made the trifle, which had beef in it. Or was it the other way around? Something along those lines. Yeah, and she turned the page. It's the finest trifle with the finest beef, but they don't sometimes work together. And this isn't the case with this map, but just because something has all of the very best individual scores doesn't necessarily mean it adds up to be a personal absolute favourite. This one is a personal absolute favourite, but I thought I'd just get that out of the way as we're looking at an all-star map right now. Okay, where we got? Well, start square is here. I think it cuts down to this kind of area here. In fact, let's have a little look. There we go. Yeah, just cuts down to that point there. Plenty of buildable space in there as well. With the start square being here. How about we start up there? We take a right. We take a right. And then we take a left when we come through the tunnel. Yeah, that works for me. We're going to go that route today. So yeah, all-star maps. Yes. This one, obviously, what? Oh, it's all right. It's okay. I didn't have my finger on the button. It's working. It's working. So yes, yeah, all-star maps. When you, we've got a bit of game lag going on here. You can see the frame rate has dropped right down. I'm not saying this is a map issue, but we do have a little bit of game stuttering. I apologise for the game stutter. Again, this could be a mod issue. Certainly didn't stutter when I did the 5-star rating, because that probably would have affected in the gameplay score. So yeah, this is a new thing, and I wouldn't worry about it. Don't go expecting there to be too much to grumble about. Nice little bridge there. Although I do see maybe this is a draw distance issue. Hello. Excuse me. Wow. Well. Can I retract an all-star rating? Mind you, we have some trees growing through in various other places as well. Makes me think, what's happened there? There's no, I mean, we know the reason why trees can be on the undersides of roads, but surely I would have spotted them last time. Or maybe I didn't go that route last time, and maybe they were there all the time. Ooh, what's that on that headland there? Do you see it? I'm going that way now, because I might have trouble finding it later. Oh, it's a castle. Oh, it's a castle. From all the way over there, couldn't really make out that. It's a very funny looking... I mean, it's just a tower. How did that... From this angle, just looks like a... Well, it looks very flat. Again, draw distances and all that. Hey-ho. Right, onwards. Onwards we go. Let's see if we've got any foliage cutting through the underside of this intersection. We don't. I'm wondering if that intersection, previous intersection, would have actually cost this map its 5th star for detail had I seen it. That's the thing with my reviews. I only ever have a certain limited amount of time when doing the reviews, and it's one of those things that after about an hour with the map, I have to be. I'm recording the show. You know, I have to be cracking on with the show. Otherwise, it doesn't go out on the old daily routine that I had. And so, very nice swampy little fun area there, and that emerges over here as well. Maybe it was like that all the time and I just didn't see it. Anoupou, check it out, my friend. Check it out. Yeah, marvellous spaghetti. Absolutely unnecessarily marvellous spaghetti is what we say to that. Beautiful. Right, we're taking the left, we're heading down towards the start square. We're going to do a little flit around once we get down to... Can't get to the start square down this way. Okay. Maybe it's the next intersection. It's going to be the next intersection, isn't it? So this leads down this way. And we have this little sexy little number helping us to loop back into the start square over here, where we have a nice little lake. It's quite pretty. Just gets you started. You know, I'm all for it. I am all for it. We even got the rail running through there as well, and a little dry area on the other side of the rail over here as well for ore. I'm guessing that's ore. Has to be ore, doesn't it? I've got to check now. I have to check. Yeah, plenty of ore. Plenty of ore in them there hills, right? Good. So we have rail right there as well. Following the highway along at a height now, because we don't need to follow it so closely anymore. Great fields. Great fields. These are just good sizes. Good field painting as well. Decent. You can get a little decent sized oil refinery in here, or a decent sized oil refinery there and there as well. Or you can go with the fertile and just go for lots of farmlands. We've got a few floating rocks. Again, that is down to a mod issue. I wish I knew which mod issue it was, but that's a recent thing and not a problem with the map, so ignore that. Ah, the essential lighthouse. Isn't she lovely? I'm going to miss saying that. We're down to just a handful of maps now, and we're running out fast for the essential lighthouse. Nice little rocky areas over here. Plenty of just quality network laying on what isn't a flat map. Far from it. Waterfalls are beautiful. Not so rocky hills, coastal LUTs, good terrain work, a little bit of the rock detailing along there as well. Nice little bit of tree detailing. That works perfectly. We even have ourselves a little island in the middle there as well, which is, again, many a lesser creator would have just gone with a bump. Solid islands. This one just eroded away. You're not really going to be doing any building over there anyway, are you? I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, you could. And because fantasy equals fantasy, this is your water spawn. In fact, are we being fed from up here? We are being fed from up here. So your water spawn is actually all the way up there in the mountains, feeding down to a decent sized lake. And again, on the fantasy map, you can get away with that. It's not even plausibly realistic, but it doesn't matter. It truly does not matter. It's a lovely looking river as well. Winds tight, probably a little fatter. Again, fantasy map doesn't matter, but a little fatter than a realistic map would be for the tightness of the curves and the bends. But again, looks for what it's doing here in this map build, it works absolutely on point. Beautiful rail, of course. We're talking about the creator of the map, Ralliwaya, which was the most spectacular railway map you will ever see. If you haven't seen Ralliwaya, go and have a look at it. It is remarkable. It is truly remarkable. Not to everybody's taste because it is very heavily a rail map, and one where Anoupou has given you all of the rail already. Spectacularly done. But if you look at this, you can imagine just how spectacular the rail will be on that map. We have everybody's favourite factories. Yep, rail factories there. Also, liking this, by the way, where we have the rail going in here, which is not the first time we've seen that done. By putting another factory immediately behind it, makes it feel like the entire thing is more of a goods yard, and that the rail can run right the way in and through. Very nice little touch there. Better still, if I remember rightly, yeah, it then goes to a tunnel. It then goes into a tunnel and emerges at the edge of the map. So that is your actual spawn point for rail, where rail goes in here. We have a little dead end popping over here. It's a little fake. Fake, that's what that is. Little abandoned village there as well. So your little fake, you go, well, that's where the rail is. But no, the rail actually leads in to the heart of the map via the factories down there. Very cleverly done. Subtle, clever, excellent work. And something I don't remember about this map. Maybe I didn't pick up on it last time. Maybe, maybe not. Quality, more quality. Again, the lake, the waterworks, the waterways even, which is slightly different from the waterworks. A little, plenty of, got to say, the waterfalls. Another thing that can make a fantasy map pop are the waterfalls. And this kind of waterfall is very iconically sort of thing that Ikanya used to produce. Ikanya used to be the king of the fantasy maps, and now it's got to be Anoupou, wasn't it? Now the king is dead. Long live the new king, right? And by that, yes, Ikanya did pass, sadly. So yeah, are we in agreement? This is a spectacular map. The stuff we haven't seen here as well, but again, the original review, episode 1058, it was an all-star map. It's definitely worth checking out to see whether or not I did take that route, whether I actually saw the trees. Did I see the trees under the highway? Were there any? Did I let them go? It's one of those things that maybe Anoupou got away with it. Maybe they did. I'm not sure. But Titilopoppo by Anoupou Merynetjerou, 94.75% approval rating as voted by you, is our 7th best map of all time. And we have one more this week coming up tomorrow morning as we crack that 95% approval rating. I mean, seriously, 95% is, I mean, you might as well just call it 100% and be done, right? You might as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. You have hit the like button. Good. Just checking. Just checking. Always checking. We will be back tomorrow with that final top 100 of the week. Big shout out for the BonBon Buddies on Patreon and YouTube membership for supporting the channel. You guys are the very, very best. I love you all very, very much. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.